Good morning, children. Welcome to the third part of our lesson. So, in the previous class, we have discussed about the operating system layers, right? So, today we are going to learn the different processes for which the kernel is responsible for. So, we already discussed that the kernel is responsible for the processor management, memory management, device management through the device drivers and the system calls. So let us see each of them in detail. So what are today's topics that we are going to discuss as processor management, memory management and device management through what? Through the device drivers. Okay children, so let us start. First of all, processor management. So basically processor means nothing but a CPU children. So the central processing unit is also called as a processor. Okay. So what does this kernel do with this processor management? That means what is this CPU management? Kernel, it will be responsible for deciding. For suppose a particular process is there. This particular kernel will be deciding that which particular process will be getting the CPU when and for how much time. Okay, so it is the task of the kernel. The kernel should divide the CPU to the process basing upon its time and the importance. Okay, so this particular procedure is what called as a process scheduling. Okay, scheduling means what? Assigning, right? So keeping all the processes in a particular order or allotting each and every process a CPU. Okay, so we have discussed that this particular processor will be allotted to any process. So what is meant by process? Process means nothing but the program under which we are working with. Okay, the word itself says process means what? The task that we are going on with, right? When coming to computer, we'll be saying that the program through which is performing a particular task is what called as a process. Program means instructions that are given to a computer. Okay children. Next, so see, there are few more functions or that the kernel is going to perform on the processor management. Let us see what are those. We already discussed that the processor will be allotted by the kernel, right? So see, the operating system keeps the tracking of the processor and the status of the process. Why it will be keeping track on the processor and the status of the process? Because unless the operating system does not know how much process is pending or how many processors are completed, it cannot allot the processor or a CPU to another process, right? For example, take our lab only. Unless if one particular student did not complete his practical work, I cannot allot that same system to another person, no? Same process will be going on with the operating system of the kernel also. Okay children. Next, so we already discussed that the operating system allocates the processor to a process. Allocate means assigning. Okay, so the CPU is given to a particular process by the operating system. Okay, kernel is nothing but it is a layer of the operating system children. So we can say it's an operating system or else a kernel. Okay, but these are the tasks that are performed by the kernel. So we are using it as kernel. Okay, next, once it is having a right to allocate the processor to a process, it is also having a right to deallocate it. That means take back the processor when once a particular process is completed, right? That only is the next point. So see, the operating system is also responsible for deallocating the processor when the process is no longer required, right? Next one is memory management. Memory management means what children? Basically there are two types of memories, primary memory and main memory. Primary memory is nothing but a RAM and ROM. While coming to the main memory, it is a system memory. That means it may be a hard disk or any other storage devices, right? Next, so this particular memory management means what? Assigning this particular primary memory and main memory in an efficient way, right? Next, basically main memory is having a more storage, so it can work fast and can access directly by the processor. Because it is a main memory, that is, it may be a hard disk will be located in a CPU, so it will be directly in contact with the processor, that is a CPU. Okay children, next point. So therefore, for a program to be executed, see, if we want to work on a computer system, we should have a CPU, right? That is only the point that they have given. So if any program means any task, right? Once it should work on, it should be present in the main memory only, not in the primary memory. Okay? Primary memory means it may be a RAM or ROM. Okay children? So once if a program should be executed, it should present in main memory. Then only it will be executed. Otherwise it cannot be executed by the processor. Okay children? Next, let us see few more functions that are associated with the memory management. So, as the kernel keeps a tracking on the processor management, it also keeps a track on the main memory also. So that it can know how much memory have been used and still how much memory is left, so that it can use it for the next processes. Okay? That only is discussed in the first 2 points. See, the kernel keeps track of the main memory and checks which part is in use and by which process. Okay. It is also keeps tracks of the part that is not in use. It will be keeping track on the part on which the main memory is being used by any process, and main memory is not used. That part also is kept on a tracking. Okay. Next point. The kernel allocates the memory according to the requirement of the process. This point you all can understand. And the next point is, as we already discussed, that once the kernel does not need the main memory, there is no need of allocating the memory once the process have been completed, or else if the process no longer needs the memory. Okay children? Next, device management through the device drivers. Device management means what? So, once in a computer system, if we want to perform any particular task, we need several devices like hardware devices and software devices. Software devices is nothing but a internal part, that is operating system and all. It does not belong. Hardware devices are compulsory in order to communicate with the computer system, right? Without the mouse we cannot perform any action. Without a keyboard we cannot perform any action. Without a CPU there is no need of having a monitor with us. Like that only, there is a compulsorily, it is a need of a devices in computer system, right? So what does this kernel do? The kernel is responsible for managing device communication via their respective drivers. So see children, if you have seen, once if we have inserting a pen drive, it will be, you will be getting a notification that installing the device driver, right? That means each and every particular device will be having a particular driver. Without that particular driver we cannot work. For example, printer. If we want to install a printer for a computer system, that is attach a printer for a computer system, we should first install the particular drivers that the printer is connected to a computer system. If we will not install that particular driver, we cannot work on with a printer. It may be a printer, it may be a scanner. Okay. Next, the device drivers are special software designed to enable interaction with hardware devices. We already discussed this point. Without that particular, those device drivers are only the main reason through which we can connect these hardware devices to a computer system. Okay. So see, a device driver is essential for a hardware. Without it, the hardware device fails to work, right? Where if we cannot install the particular printer driver or a scanner driver in a computer system, the particular printer or scanner cannot work. This point is already discussed. So let us see few more functions through which the kernel includes in the device management. So see, keeping track of all input or output devices and the program responsible for this task is known as an input-output controller. So device means what? Hardware devices which are connected to a computer system only, no. So it will be the kernel will be keeping track of all these devices, right? If it won't keep a track, if I give the printer, if that particular process does not work, what is the need of the printer for us, right? So to perform that particular action, there should be something or the other processor which will be controlling all these functions, right? This particular function is what called as input-output controller. Okay, children? So next point, deciding the time and the duration of the process that gets the device. So this particular kernel also decides the particular time and duration which particular process needs a device. That means which particular process have the need to get that particular device, right? Next, it will also be allocating the devices in an effective and efficient way. And once it has a right to allocate the devices, it is also can deallocate the devices when there is a no need of the devices no more. Okay, children? I hope you all understood today's class. And I am observing that many of you are not sharing the assignments in time. And many of you are not sharing your name, class, section. Children, it doesn't mean that I am not sharing your names in the WhatsApp group. I will be having each and every person's name and details whether they are sharing me the assignment or not. In time or not, we will be having that particular record. Please don't take it as silly. Please take it as serious. Okay, I am not taking or I am not giving any warning to you all. It doesn't mean that I am not interested whether you are all are sending the assignments in time or not. Please take it serious, children. I want all the assignments in time before 6 p.m. Okay, if you are having any problem, please share it to me immediately through a message. Okay, thank you.